Cloning technology from the dark age of technology. There have been several attempts to use this beyond the period of the Golden Age, but they have failed. However, the knowledge of that time has worked in some places, and we will go over 2 examples of cloning that worked using the Dark Age tech. Let's begin. First, the Imperial dubs their attempts to clone as replica, and they've come close to bringing back that time twice. During the Heresy, the Raven Guard tried to rebuild their numbers after the traitors hurt their number at Istvan. Korax asked the Master of Mankind for the tech and was given it, and it seemed a good move, with Marines arriving in less time than normal. But the Alpha Legions sabotaged this technology, so further Marines were mutants, and Korax shut down the program. A member of the Blood Angels also tried cloning. He did this despite Dante disagreeing. His creations showed promise, but became bloodthirsty creatures, showing no nobility of the sons of Sanguinius. Cassius had been aided by another, who it turned out was Fabius Bile of the Emperor's Children in disguise, so it seems likely he was involved in this sabotage. So both times there was some sort of chaos interference. Now to 2 examples from the lore, where Dark Age tech has been used successfully. First, from the audio story Red and Black. Myria, a sister, is sent to a system which has been cut off by warp storms. They have captured someone from the planet, and this woman is a synthetic creation, a replica, a cloned life grown from human cells. She's called Ro. To achieve her mission, Myria speaks to the Prioress, who saw the conflict in Myria's expression. It is quite shocking, is it not? A being born from an artificial womb, something that cannot possess an immortal soul, and yet she kneels before the Emperor's grace like one of us. Myria is given the task of finding out if the woman's planet is still faithful to the Emperor. One of the Mechanicus, called Nolan, joins her. He says of the clone, the ideal of a genetically engineered, vat-grown perfect human has been a myth until now. On landing on Holos, they see that the ruling council are clones. Normal-born humans make up the rest of the populace. We learn the history of this planet, that warp demons attacked the colonists in their early days. To protect the prototype soldier clones were made and beat the demons. Then over time they grew into their roles as leaders. They say they are superior to what they once were, little more than organic machines, tools and cannon fodder. The leader explains, we unlocked our potential. As the meeting between the sisters and the Council of Clones continues, they are attacked by a new party, referred to as Reds. They are the original combat version of the clones, and they prove a challenge even for the Sisters of Battle. The evolved clones, the Council don't want to fight. After the fight is over, Ro explains about the Reds. I told you, they're not like me. The Reds are throwbacks. They are an aberration amongst our kind, violent and consumed by destructive emotions. We have tried to re-educate them, rehabilitate them, but we cannot. Nothing works. They are irredeemable. Later, Myria is captured by humans, the normal citizens of the planet, and it's explained that they are a group of normal humans who want power back from the Council. They want the sisters Myria's aid. She learns the Reds were set loose by the humans, and then they let her go so she can think over what to do. The Mechanicum with her says that I have formed a hypothesis about the variant strains of replica we have seen here. The Red and the others. The brain tissue of the violent clones shows evidence of a distinct neurochemical signature not present in the tissue of Ro and her kind. So this chemical, it is artificial, a virus? Negative, Sister Myria. It is the absence of the chemical that is artificial. She glanced around to be certain that none of the replica were within earshot of their conversation. What are you saying? That Ro and her kind have been biologically altered in some fashion? Remnants of the original gene plate for the replica from the Holos 797 remain in my databanks, explained the adept. They show the missing neurochemical as a biotrigger, a genetic control mechanism implanted by their creators, if you will. Implanted by the Imperium? Myria corrected. Affirmative. But clones like Ro and the others we have met in the city, those without the biotrigger, have free will. I believe they have deliberately re-engineered themselves to switch off the production of the neurochemical they evolved. Nolan's theory, if it were true, it suggested a heretical act that would incur grave consequences. How could that happen unless they defied the orders of the genesmiths who made them, unless the slaves defied their rightful masters? There is another possibility, offered the adept. It may have occurred naturally without external interference. He spread his machine hands. Perhaps it is the will of the God Emperor. Remember, not all of the replica have been granted this gift. A gift or a curse? Miria wondered aloud. No, I do not see his hand in this, Questor. I see division and violence on the horizon. This planet is on the verge of a revolution, and I must decide if I am to stop it, or allow Holos to be engulfed by war. It was Nolan's turn to be a step behind. What are you saying, Sister Miria? Prepare for great violence, she told him. No matter what happens, I fear it is inevitable. Sister Miria tells the council they will be brought back into the Imperium, but with changes, that all clones will fall under the eye of the Mechanicum, and that as a artificially created life form, clones have no rights to citizenship in the Imperium of mankind. As this happens, the Reds show up, and it's revealed they are marked with Tzeentch. The Reds that arrived are quickly defeated by the Sisters, but many more Reds are coming. The Sisters ask for help from the peaceful clones, who say no, and then Nolan says they have deactivated that warrior part of themselves, and he can reawaken that in them. He says this will make them warriors again, but what they have grown into would be lost. Then Ro and the others obey the Sisters' commands, and now move as automatons, fast and lethal, striking into battle in silent formation, ending the Reds. And to conclude, another example from the Leagues of Votan. They are a clone race. Each generation emerges from machines known as crucibles, which draw upon vast databanks of genomic data to produce a stable and varied populace. The Votan who order these clones can best be described as ancient Dark Age machine intelligences, so complex and powerful as to be nigh on supernatural. When they produce each kin, they are made to fulfill a role within their wider society and given any physical upgrades needed to meet that role. So there are our two examples based on tech sent out during the Dark Age and that they have used to exist through to the current timeline. So now, listener or watcher, I turn things over to you. What do you feel about the use of clone tech in M40 and how it compares to that of the Dark Age? Could the Krieg vital wombs from which it's hinted their clone be another successful variant of this tech? Comment down below, and if you like this video on the Dark Age of technology, why not try this one?